Have you ever walked into a church expecting inspiration, but instead walked out feeling like you just attended a sales pitch? Yeah, let's talk about the prosperity gospel, a message preached in many places that promises wealth, luxury, and success if you give money to certain pastors or churches. Spoiler alert, this message doesn't come from Jesus, and it is not what Christianity teaches. So what is the prosperity gospel? It's basically this idea. If you give money to this church or pastor, God will bless you with wealth, health, cars, houses, promotions, and everything you desire. Sounds like a spiritual lottery ticket, right? Except that's not anywhere close to the teachings of Jesus. Jesus taught humility, compassion, service, generosity, and helping the poor. He taught that life is not measured by possessions, that greed destroys the spirit, and that faith is not a business transaction. He didn't ask people to pay him so they could get rich. He didn't sell blessings. He never preached, "Give to me so you get more." He taught the opposite, to share, to care for others, and to live simply. So how did we end up here? Over time, some church leaders discovered something dangerous. If you promise desperate people wealth, some of them will empty their pockets hoping for miracles. And so, a new industry was born. Cue the flashy suits, private jets, mansions, and seed offerings that somehow only ever seem to grow the preacher's bank account. These leaders claim to speak for God, but their lifestyles look more like CEOs of luxury companies than spiritual guides. They use emotional manipulation, guilt, fear, and false promises to take money from sincere believers, ordinary people just trying to do the right thing. The problem isn't Christianity. The problem isn't the believers. The problem is a business model disguised as faith. These preachers twist scripture like it's taffy. They portray blessings as items you can buy. They treat faith like a vending machine. They turn offerings into revenue streams. And worst of all, they make people feel like their struggles are because they didn't give enough. That's not spiritual guidance. That's exploitation. Many of these prosperity preachers don't actually follow the teachings they claim to represent. They talk about Jesus, but they don't follow his example. They talk about faith, but practice greed. They talk about blessings, but chase wealth. Their actions show that they're not interested in guiding believers. They're interested in using believers. Authentic Christian teaching emphasizes caring for the poor, living with humility, serving others, treating people with kindness, and giving freely without expecting anything in return. Faith isn't a business. Blessings aren't for sale. And no preacher should live in a mansion built on the fear and hopes of others. Here is how you can stay safe from prosperity gospel manipulation. If a preacher talks about money more than compassion, red flag. If they promise riches in exchange for donations, red flag. If the church looks like a luxury brand, red flag. If you feel pressured, guilty, or afraid not to give, huge red flag. Faith should uplift you, not drain your bank account. True spirituality isn't about chasing wealth. It's about living with purpose, compassion, and integrity. So the next time someone tries to sell you a blessing, just smile and walk away, because real faith doesn't come with a price tag. Thanks for watching. Stay wise, stay strong, and remember, your value can't be bought, and it definitely shouldn't be sold.